What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to my channel. We've got to talk about Kail and Elijah. It seems as though the two of them secretly got married, or at least it was heavily hinted that that was the case on this week's episode, or should I say today's episode of Kail's Coffee Convos podcast. That is a podcast that she co-hosts with Lindsay Chrisley, and they kicked off the episode with Lindsay talking about Kail's husband. We all know that Kail recently announced that she was engaged to Elijah. It wasn't a formal announcement or anything like that. She was wearing an engagement ring. Lindsay asked about it, and then she fessed up to being engaged. Mind you, this came after her arch nemesis and third baby daddy, Chris Lopez, let us know back in August that Kail and Elijah were planning to get married in the month of September. So Kail wound up confirming her engagement in a very casual sort of way on her podcast. And now Lindsay is yet again the one to bring up the topic of Kail's marital status, this time referring to Elijah as Kail's husband, which is very, 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 deliberate in my opinion. The two of them are close friends through, by virtue of doing this podcast together. So I don't think that that's something that she would say for no reason. I imagine she would have corrected herself and said, your fiance. Kail certainly didn't correct her. In fact, a little bit later on in the episode, when they started discussing Isaac's trauma. So you guys, Kail has talked about this a couple times on her various podcasts, that her eldest son, Isaac, has a lot of trauma in his life right now. And, he has had it since he was about 6 years old. When Kail and Javi broke up and sought a divorce. She says that, she reiterated that in today's episode, that Isaac saw Javi as his, primary father figure. She said, no offense to Joe, but Isaac truly saw Javi as his daddy. He had a stronger emotional bond with Javi than he did with Joe, which, by the way, you guys, keep digging that hole, keep poking him further. Like, I don't know that this is appropriate conversation for the podcast, especially considering the fact that she also has another podcast that she runs with Joe's wife, V. It's a lot of very, very messy stuff that she's letting slip, right? And consistently as well, but I digress. So she was talking about that. And then she also said that Isaac would be absolutely devastated, right? Because he has grown close to her latest, partner or lover, should I say, Elijah. And in saying that, Kail said that Isaac would be devastated if she and Elijah were to divorce. So first you've got Lindsay referring to Elijah as Kail's husband. Now you've got Kail talking about how, her and Elijah leaving each other would be a divorce, not a breakup, not calling off engagement, divorce. And she too did not correct herself. In fact, she dropped a massive Easter egg. She actually full-blown said, hey, listen, I guess we're dropping all sorts of bombs on this podcast episode. So there you go. I believe that Kail just soft launched that she and Elijah are full-blown married. And listen, it sounds like that was in line with the timeline that Chris Lopez filled us in on over the summer. He said, listen, these two are about to get married in September. Guess what the date is? October 10th. So I guess they did go ahead and do it. He must have seen the marriage license. One of the children must have told him about it. I imagine Lex or Creed told him about it, that sort of thing. So, it is what it is. Congratulations to Kail and Elijah, if that is the case. I do think that she has mellowed out a lot. I don't know if it's age or if it's being with Elijah, because correct me if I'm wrong, because I certainly feel this way about myself, but I feel like you do mellow out with age. When I started making videos, on YouTube, I was like 24 or something like that, 23, I don't know. And now I am 30. I'm about to turn 31 on the 26th of this month. And I just feel like I'm a lot more mellow these days than I used to be. So I don't know if I would credit that to Elijah or if I would credit that to just her getting older and you just stabilizing a little bit. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. Are you surprised to hear? Do you even care? I kind of feel like y'all don't really care about Kail as much as you used to back in the day. Oh Lord, you guys were insatiable when it came to Kail content. But these days it feels like y'all are kind of good on her, which, great. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Take good care of yourselves. We're almost there for the weekend. The weather has been absolutely miserable. It's been hard to get there. You just want to sleep. Just know the weekend is coming. And also, I do want to take a moment to wish all of my viewers in Florida, you know, well, safety, health, all of that, because I'm hearing about the hurricane Milton that is, that is wreaking havoc in Florida. And it's just so sad to hear. So please stay safe, you guys. I really hope that you guys are able to evacuate safely. Take care, you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.